Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Cam, man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight. Nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code Mase, Cam, or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam, and today we are joined with our analyst Maurice Clarett.
Woo! Woo! My goodness. How y'all doing today?
I'm a Browns fan, so I'm good, baby.
Okay.
You killer? Oh, he's pulling the Michael Irvin. Pause. He's not paying attention to you, Stat.
I mean, today was an interesting day. So I'm glad Maurice had a great day. Then Mase, how are you feeling today?
How was your day, Stat?
You know, it started out great. It really did. Then, things happen. But I'm still smiley regardless, so we're here. We're here.
Yeah, she's feeling a way about yesterday, That's why I chose to come in there this morning with the Steelers hat on, just to be consistent,
Yeah. All hail. Okay, so let's get into the Thursday night game. So the Steelers lost to the Browns 24-19 for a real snowy game. Maurice, what did you think of the Steelers' loss and then how the Browns performed last night?
Well, I was happy. Anytime that you have a divisional rival like the Browns and the Steelers, and you're a Browns fan, you always want the victory. And we've not seen as many victories in Cleveland as they have in Pittsburgh. So going out there and getting this victory was tremendous for us. I almost thought that we almost gave it away in the end of the third and beginning of the fourth quarter when we had the turnover. Early into the fourth quarter, I thought that Jameis Winston was about to give the game away when the Steelers were coming back, but they held on, and my man Nick Chubb helped to bring it home, and we got the victory. So go Browns, and it's a good day in Ohio.
Mase, how you feeling?
I hope the hat is telling the story. I couldn't wait to say to Papa Stat, wherever he is, that this is not God's team. We're looking at them, they lose 24-19 to the Browns out of all the teams they could have possibly lost to. This is not the team they should have lost to. But like you said, Chubbs had his 2 touchdowns. We looked at even Russell Wilson. He played pretty good. He threw one away. And I thought Jameis Winston was going to have more turnovers than this. But, I stand corrected. So I'm wearing the Steelers hat today, just to be consistent with what I believe. I missed out on the Browns, pause. So I'm wearing the Steelers hat. But when I think about it, this is a team, like I said again, they should never lose to the Browns, especially this year. Out of all the years to lose to them, this is not the year to lose. But it says everything I wanted to say about the Steelers. I don't have to say anything. The hat says enough to Papa Stat, to White, and all you fellow Steeler fans out here. Russell Wilson is not all that. Shout out to Sierra, though. Shout out to Baby Future and everybody. No pun intended, That's still my family out there.
Okay. Cam, how are you feeling about the game?
So, Stat, what do you think about the Steelers?
I mean, that's still my team. We're still on top in the AFC North. At the end of the day, the Browns just performed better. They got their momentum up early. They outperformed us. They really outplayed us. We were outcoached. All the things that you could see happen on this snowy game. Myles Garrett on the Browns side, he went crazy. Njoku was making some plays. Like, everybody did what they needed to do on the Browns. They concealed TJ Watt. He couldn't really do much. So it's just like, y'all played better. And I can admit that even when discussing the game yesterday for my prediction, I said, look, there's a formula. You have to be able to figure it out. Against the Ravens, we didn't even score a touchdown. So I said, if the Browns can figure out the system, they could cheat it. And that's exactly what they did. So shout out to the Browns for getting this win. I'm still obviously have hope in my team because even earlier in the first half, Russell Wilson wasn't playing as well as he could have. He got sacked a couple times. So just overall, the Steelers didn't bring enough to the field. And that showed, which is why, shout out to Ohio, shout out Maurice, y'all got that win. And it happened. Anything can happen on any given Sunday, and in this case, any given Thursday. So,
did I hear you just say that that the Steelers were outcoached?
Yeah, in this game.
Oh my goodness.
The Browns made really smart plays, even down to, instead of kicking for a field goal, going for the 2-point conversion to put up more points. So later on, when it was time for us to catch up, they had a lot more points than us. So it made sense. And it did get a little rocky towards third quarter when Steelers did score another touchdown. But at that point, it was like, it's fourth quarter. There's 50 seconds left. You're trying to make a long play, get that final touchdown. Russell Wilson tries to do a Hail Mary. I already knew that wasn't going to work. It could have been cool to see it work. That would have been a great, finisher. But I think the Browns deserve that win based on how that game went after watching it go. So it happens. And I can admit that. And it's okay.
Kim, what do you think about the Browns versus Steelers game?
Michael Irvin kind of called with the Browns, but he kind of alluded to the fact that they could lose today, but he wasn't that confident enough to say it. The weather might have played a part in it, but it isn't like Pittsburgh is somewhere hot. They lost. Nobody's going to win every game in the National Football League, and these are the games that people never pick for teams that's winning to lose. I will say this, Mr. Wilson sounded like a sore loser. And looking at his text right now, like, staff father, y'all won a lot of games this year. Don't be a sore loser, bro. We let you come on, rock out, and now you text every morning, just staying in a sore loser. This text is crazy. I love you, man, but you're not going to win every game, bro. He's talking about in 2 weeks they're going to be in Pittsburgh, the Browns, and he'll be laughing this morning. And if you're looking for 2 weeks, if you're waiting for 2 weeks to get revenge on the Steelers, then your season's almost already over if that's what you're waiting for, revenge on, Papa Stat. That's crazy that you're for revenge on the Browns in 2 weeks. Don't be a sore loser, bro.
He's growing in his paws and his pettiness, yeah.
That's getting real petty over there. But hey, shout out to my dad. He's going to stand on what he wants to stand on. Okay, so let's move on. I actually got to talk about Colorado. They're always going to be in the public eye, but some even better news. So the 5-star quarterback recruit, Julian Lewis, officially committed to Colorado. He will sign with Colorado when the early signing period opens December 4th, and he plans to enroll early with the program in January. We've heard a lot in the news about Colorado, where Deion would be next year, Travis Hunter, even Shador. Maurice, with all this information, how do you picture Colorado to be next season with this new recruit?
I just think that they're going to build on the momentum that Deion has brought with Shador and Travis. And anytime you go out to hit the recruiting trail and you're trying to grab young receivers and young players in general, they always look for one player who they want to get excited about. And now they have their marquee player, because I seen the young guy earlier all over national TV. He's a top 5 recruit. I think he's the number 2 recruit in the class of 2025. And so to land him and to sign him, as notable as he is, to beat out all these other schools for him, that says a lot for Deion. It does a lot for their program. And I think that this is just a successor of Shador. And I don't know who's at Colorado now. And it's no offense to any young guy who may be a backup, but whenever you get a marquee player, a marquee recruit, you try to build your program around guys like that to garner in more recruits to basically build a team and build camaraderie around. So I told you, I'm happy for Dion. I'm happy with what he's doing. Happy with the former players that they have working up there. I'm just happy for Colorado in general.
Yeah, this is a sign that Dion is definitely one of them niggas, yo. When you got people that are in one class and then they're reclassifying just to come down to 2025 when he would have been at 2026. And also another thing that makes Dion that nigga, not to take away from anything else that already makes him that guy, is that he's taken a recruit away from USC. That is prime real estate when it comes to football, and when you get a goal like that, that's really saying a lot to the big wigs out there and all the other big programs that are out there, that they are definitely here to stay, and they're definitely on the biggest stage when you got people decommitting from USC, because this guy was already committed. Julian Lewis was already committed to USC, and he decommitted to USC to commit to Colorado, and that's a big move, and I look forward to it.
Okay, and Cam.
To me, it don't really matter because Dion ain't gonna tell nobody what he doing until the season over. Dion might not even be there next year. So, sorry, homeboy. No disrespect, and don't mean to blow Prime's spot up like that, but Prime does not talk about moves until he about to bust on pause. Everybody's talking about swag when he's at Jackson State. Season was over. He was out, went to Colorado. He don't talk about what he's going to do before he do it. So it's a great move if he decides to stay, but from everything that we're talking about, not just us, people in the media, I don't know if he's staying. And if he's not there, not saying Colorado ain't still a good organization, but Dion brings light wherever he goes. So I would hate for homeboy to go there and he be George's successor like Mo said. But I'm not paying this no mind until about June or July of next year, because Dion has the possibility not to be at Colorado next year. He'll tell you, see, Dion's right. You see the way his son talked? He's raised right, both of them. They're media trained. They talked about it the other day. I seen Michael Irvin talking about on his other show, talking with Dion. Dion said, I'm happy here. I'm not going nowhere. He said, same thing in Jackson State. As soon as the season's over, 2 weeks later, he's in Colorado, walking around talking about, I like this. This is fly. Got all his niggas from Jackson State, his son, Travis, all them niggas was in Colorado. And I don't think this is no different. So until niggas actually say you're not going to the Raiders, the Cowboys, or anything else with Shador, and that's a package deal, pause, this don't really make too much of a big deal to me. And I get what Mo said because we're looking for the future, but this is Deion Sanders. He might be in Dallas. He might be at the Raiders. If you get a package deal with him and Shador, pause, at one of them organizations, I'm almost willing to bet the house that he won't be in Colorado. I have no inside information on this. I'm just saying, I know how Deion moved. This is my opinion. So congrats to homeboy. Congrats to Colorado. Yeah, congrats to Colorado. Same thing he did with Travis Hunter. Same thing he did with his son. Nobody was signing Deion. Deion knows how to persuade people because he talks their language. Deion is one of these people that speak our language. I was there last year in the locker room, and they ended up getting one of the best offensive linemen in the country last year. And I was there a little bit when he was talking to him. And I don't want to say too much, but he said the right thing. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say nothing because it's not my business to say what he told the young man. But shit, if I was that recruit and I heard the shit he told me, I was like, hell yeah. And then if you got me there, then Offset walks in the room. And then Terrell Owens walks in the room. And then Warren Sapp walks in the room. And then you got Skrilla, baby. You looking at all this shit in the locker room while he's doing the recruit. You like, God damn, this nigga got every fucking 2024 Soul Train in this bitch. So Deion's gonna, and he had to get together. Yo, Mo, did you see his recruiting letters to the new players on the Louis Vuitton paper?
No, I didn't see that.
Did you? So Deion's recruiting letters, for people who haven't seen it, when he's sending out his recruiting letters to the people that he's trying to get to come to Colorado, it's on this acrylic Louis Vuitton paper that you almost just want to frame because it's so dope. And you could probably Google it, Deion's letter of intent papers or whatever the like verbiage for it is, but it's on Louis. He's sending out papers of Louis to come to the school. He know that nigga's a marketing genius. He's a marketing genius. So I'm not really too hype about this player coming to Colorado till I know Deion's going to stay there.
Okay, so just a follow-up question. So hypothetically speaking, if Deion does leave, if you guys were an advisor or a parent, somebody to this 5-star recruit, would you tell him to stay at Colorado or would you tell him to go somewhere else? Maurice, what's your opinion on that?
I would probably tell him to go somewhere else. If I had a son that was going to Colorado, it would probably be solely because of Deion and what Deion has going on. Colorado, no offense to him, but it wasn't a whole lot going on before Deion got there. And when Deion leaves, they'll have the shell of a good program, but it won't be the same thing if Prime isn't there. So I would want my kid to go to another school.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Mo. I would definitely tell my kid not to go there. And even when you talk about a recruit like this, unless we're sure that Deion is going there, this could come across as a bad choice. I can understand what they're saying in this regard because, like Killer said, if Deion is not something he can count on, then that wouldn't have made sense to make that decision unless they had a previous conversation. And I'm not sure of that, and I'm not privy of that conversation. So I would definitely agree with you, Mo.
Okay, and Cam?
Yeah, if Deion not there, you tell him go somewhere else, but you're not going to know if Deion not going to be there. Deion is lining up his ducks just in case the NFL don't call. So let's say, for instance, Dallas or Vegas or whatever other team don't want the Shador Deion father-son team package for us, he's going to be good in Colorado. If he does, if they do call, Deion's the type be like, son, I got to do what's best for me sometimes. Just like you doing what's best for you, I got to make the right decision for me. And that's what life's about. He'll give him a good conversation, but I'm leaving you in good hands. Coach so-and-so is going to take this over. And he's raised right under me. So the same thing I would have gave you, pause, he going to give you. He did that at Jackson State. One of his old coaches is coaching there right now. And that's what he told him. Deion, this is really a lot of hypothetical. I think Deion is doing the right thing. And I know Coach Brown, like Cam, come on, don't blow the spot up. I'm just saying, as Coach, it's obvious. You know, you're a smart guy. You know what's best for your life and your kids and everybody. To be honest with you, say you was leaving Jackson State, but a better opportunity came. I'm not knocking that. Sometimes when a better opportunity come along, you got to go with the better opportunity. But to answer the question, I wouldn't want to be there if Deion isn't there because Deion brings TV time. Deion, out of the people that wouldn't be watching Colorado, nobody would be tuned into Colorado if Deion wasn't there. That's the sidelines every fucking week is a fucking zoo in a good way, not bad. You bumping into niggas you may not see. You bumping into people you would have want to met. And I'm not just talking about rappers, athletes, congressmen, what type of relationship. You know how much politicking I did since I've been in Colorado? No disrespect, and I think to be say anything wrong, but Mike Urban is on this show because I met him in Colorado. We had a conversation, and when we was talking with each other, trying to get Mike on the show, we went back and talked about our relationship in Colorado. Shout out to Coach Prime too for helping Mike the show because Mike wasn't sure 100. But these are the things that the possibilities that come out of Colorado, of being around Coach Prime. Shit like that. I wasn't in Colorado or care. I'd be telling my son go somewhere else if Deion wasn't there. Deion matters.
Okay. Also on the topic of Colorado, we got to discuss Travis Hunter. He told USA Sports he's for sure entering the NFL draft after this season and that he wants to play offense and defense in the NFL. He said, they said I couldn't do it in college. I ended up doing it in college. So a lot of people telling me I can't do it in the NFL, but I'm still going to do it in the NFL. Maurice, do you think he can do both in the NFL?
I think he can play both offense and defense in the NFL, but I think it will be limited as to what he does either on offense or defense. There's so many different wide receiver sets that I can see them actually drawing up a package for him to basically be on the defensive side of the ball, play the nickel back, or play just a fourth or fifth defensive back to basically guard a receiver in special situations. And likewise on offense, if he plays more on defense, I can see him being in different bunch sets. But there's no way that you see a guy play 120, 30 snaps in college at the Division I level and do it as well as he did. There's no way you bring him up to the next level and you can use him in many different facets and you don't give him a shot at doing it. So I think he's going to do it. Is he going to play every snap both ways? I don't think that's happening. But for sheer entertainment and the sheer ability that he's shown already, I think he ends up playing both ways in the NFL.
Yeah, I think when you got a player like Travis Hunter, anything is possible. Not to mention that last week against Utah, he becomes the second player along with Champ Bailey to receive 50-yard rushing for a touchdown, as well as getting an interception in the same exact game. So he's doing things on offense and defense that hasn't been done since Hall of Fame players. So I think the question is merited, but also the answer that he gives is very valid. It's very valid. It's not just something he's saying hypothetically. He got the numbers and got the history to back up those accolades.
Okay, Cam.
If you do it, it's going to be limited. They're not going to, even if you want to do it, they're not going to let you do it. Not going to let you play 130 snaps in a game, 140 snaps. It's just not realistic in the NFL. They're going to preserve your pause and they're going to want you to have a career that you can have. So whatever your point is, whether it be offense or defense, that's what you'll primarily play. Now, will he negotiate something in his contract that says, I have to play a minimum amount of snaps on defense, minimum amount of snaps on offense? Probably so. He'll put that in his contract. But realistically, your body can't do all that in the NFL. No respect to him, and like I see he does. Travis, that's my nigga, but not for kids. He's grown. I mean, Travis has been hurt times in the last couple of years since he's been in Colorado and missed a few weeks here and there due to injury. People are going to get mad if you start thinking you're showing off playing offense and defense, and which he could, but you're going to get hit. You're going to get hurt, and I don't want that for him. Could it happen? Absolutely. We seen Deion Sanders do it. Not only that, Deion on fucking special teams was fucking amazing. Now, it's one thing playing special teams and one of the other defense or offense, but defense and offense, it's pretty hard to do. Will he do it? Yes. Will it be to the level that he's doing it at Colorado? I don't think so.
Okay.
Which position do you guys think that he's the strongest at when it comes to an NFL?
I would say defensive back.
You, Killer?
It's hard to say. I'm not sure because he's so talented. He's a well-rounded athlete. I've seen him play basketball. He's like doing and dunking, and he's just really good. I would say receiver, and the reason I say receiver, what's the nigga that went to, I always forget his name. He went to Alabama, but he plays for Philadelphia right now. Devontae.
Won a Heisman Trophy. Devontae Smith.
Philadelphia, man.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, Devontae. I don't know why I keep saying Devontae. Devontae Smith. They got kind of the same body pause. Smaller wide receivers. Skill set is very good at the position. If I had to pick, I'll say receiver because, just looking at the guy I've been to live, shit that he does, I think me too, Mo. You're absolutely right, Mason. But the catches he make in double coverage, 50-50 balls, pause, and not 50 balls with him. 80 balls when you throw one-on-one on spectrum with a wide receiver. But Mo, you could be 100% correct too with defense and some of the passes that I double, triple coverage, one-on-ones coverage. It's amazing.
What do you think, Stat?
When I look at the difference, and it shouldn't be about the money, but when he's gonna go to the league, if he's trying to make that chicken, I would be a receiver. If we're being honest. And I know his passion is to, play both, to do it. It's about a legacy. It's about showing that you can do both, even though everybody doubted you. But if he had to choose one, that's what I would go for. Mase, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking defensive back, but you're right. When it comes to the money he need to be a wide receiver because it's not going to be the same. The money will be drastically different as a DB.
Yeah. Okay, so on that note, let us know what you guys think about Travis Hunter. We're about to go to break, but before we go to break, want to give a shout out to one of our new sponsors for today's episode, SeatGeek. So SeatGeek is a ticketing app where you can get tickets to all of your favorite shows, whether it's in sports, concerts, festivals, and plenty more. I know this weekend I got to see F1. It's a big event in Vegas, and SeatGeek has the hookup. You can use code STAT10 for 10% off tickets at SeatGeek. It doesn't matter how many times you've used SeatGeek before. You can also still use code STAT10 and get 10% off tickets. And the best part, when you add the code to your SeatGeek account, you'll be entered to win a $500 SeatGeek credit. No purchase necessary. So make sure to click the link in the bio and have the code automatically added to your account. So make sure y'all utilize that. Y'all can get some money off your favorite shows. Now we're going to go to break. When we return, we got to talk about them Cowboys. Don't go anywhere.
One alley, one heart, one love.
Excuse me? After last night's performance, we're gonna do this again? Yeah. Not tonight. I don't think so. And make sure you close the door behind you.
When I take the pussy up, man. When I take the pussy up, man. When I take the pussy up, man. When I take the pussy up, man.
I'm Rico fucking strong.
Took that horsepower and told the girl to giddy up.
Baby!
Fast money, money, fresh shit, cash money, Moscow mule.
I'm back.
Looking back at her, I'm a crash.
Hell no. Muchacho, levántate. Toma eso, bébetelo.
Right now?
Well, cuña.
Okay.
Well,
Now, right now. Right now.
yeah.
Girl, let me see you walk it off. Oh, let me see you walk it off. Yeah, let me see you walk it off. Go, girl, let me see you walk it off.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our underdog picks of the day. Had some technical difficulties, but Mase and Maurice are going to continue with the underdog picks. On Sunday, the Bucks are playing the Giants. Underdog has Baker Mayfield at 1.5 passing touchdowns. Mase, do you have Baker higher or lower?
Anybody playing the New York teams, anything in the Metropolitan, I got to go higher. I think he definitely will have 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Maurice?
I'm going higher too.
Okay. Mike Evans is at 55.5 receiving yards. This is his return. Maurice, do you have him higher or lower?
I'm going to go lower. I don't think he gets that many targets.
Okay.
This is a tricky one. Pause, because he's coming back. I'm gonna follow Mo. If Mo is wrong, I never want to hear from him again. I'm gonna go with Mo on this one. Pause. Laura.
Okay. And Tommy DeVito, the Giants' new quarterback now that Daniel Jones is now QB3. He's at 179.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
I'm going higher.
No, I'm going lower.
Hope. Talk
Okay.
about hope.
Yeah, I'm trying to give him some hope. I feel like if it's a new quarterback, he has to put up some points, have to put up some numbers. But I'm gonna follow Mo. I'm taking my pick back. We're going lower. Pause.
Okay.
Because I don't know the guy like that. You know, I like to talk about what I know.
Right. We'll see how he plays on Sunday. If you guys like these picks, remember you always get a free pick if you're not already an underdog. So make sure to support the show. Sign up now and you can make your picks too. So it's always lovely when we talk about the Cowboys, Mase, and Maurice, and there's always something new. This time, CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs were caught filming a music video at the club earlier this week. This was after that pretty bad 34-10 loss to the Texans for Monday Night Football. Maurice, gonna let you go first. Do you feel like that's a bad look, or should it not matter that much to them at the club filming that music video?
Now, I don't know which one it was. I don't even know if these were the right players, but I remember last year when they got on Michael Parsons' about Michael Parsons doing podcasting. And they said that he was worried about that shit and he wasn't focused on the actual games of the season. And this is very similar, and it fits inside that box as people doing extracurricular and distracting shit. And this stuff doesn't go over well when you're out here losing and when you're having a losing season. And there's 1,000 other things that you can do. There's actually 1,000,000 other things that you can do. You can go study film. You can go lift weights. You can go rest. You can go get in the fucking ice tub. You can go do a whole bunch. But shooting music videos when you're in the world of social media should not be the number 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5th thing that you should be doing as a professional athlete when you get your ass kicked. And so that's just I don't know, just not knowing how to read the room and just not understanding the severity of social media and how it reflects upon everybody to not appear as if you're serious. And so I don't think this was a good look for the guys. And hopefully they'll learn something from this. But this is like something that's distracting.
Yeah, Mo, you hit it, pause, almost perfectly on the head, pause. You know, when you think about a team that's underperforming, that's America's team. You know, we got America's team, then we got God's team. So right here, we're talking about America's team. And when you're looking at America's team playing so poorly, I mean, so poorly, the make time for a video is just asinine. Like if you're thinking about things you could do, I know you talked about hitting the weight room. How about running some routes? How about working with the quarterback? How about, there's so many other things, like you said, millions of other things that they could have been doing. And this is not one. You should be sitting down talking to Jerry Jones, figuring out what you guys are going to do after this season. But I think this is a sign that they've already given up on this season. That's one way to look at it. If I'm a fan, if they're shooting music videos, what's next? They're going on vacation in the middle of the season. And this goes back to something I always talk about when it comes to like different generations, about how and I love the talent of this generation, but sometimes you definitely question the mindset of some of these guys. And there was crazy people in all generations, so we're not just focusing on this generation. But I would say, when you think it's okay to not do your job well, but to enjoy your life and forget that people have invested millions of dollars into you to play this game very well, and to not do that and to shoot videos and do all of that is really just taking a shot at the whole organization, because that's how they'll take it. And I think we need people that could tell people this. And I'm not coming down on these guys. I made poor decisions in times past, but this is something that leads to that kind of stigma that you don't want on your name, that you're not taking the game serious and things like that. So that's why I'm sharing it. Not for criticism, but to bring light to what's really going on.
Yeah, that's a great take. I actually had a rebuttal, but after hearing that, it's like, okay, like, he's right. I'm just gonna say, if you can still answer that, I'm like, if your season's already in the trash, your quarterback is unavailable, everybody's already doubting y'all. I'm not saying they should be smiling and going around like, we all want them to still prove their greatness and show that they're focused and serious. But it's like, if you're already so low, like, and I'm not saying it's a good look, I'm just asking on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, they can't just go out once.
No, they could go out and they can do these things. My statement is always about the accountability and knowing what is going to paint for you. If you're okay with what it paints for you, then do it. What I'm against is people making these decisions and doing these things publicly, but then do not want to be identified as what they're doing. That's what I have an issue with. I have a real issue with people doing stuff that they don't want to be, known for or have to talk about. And I think that's something to really consider. Because I used to do the same thing. I would do, something wild and then be like, why are people talking about me? You know why they talking about you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I understand that mindset. So I just try to, take that information and convey it to the next generation. Because I used to always be like, oh, niggas is hating on me.
Yeah.
No, niggas are not hating on you. You're a pastor or you're a minister. So there's certain things that people are supposed to hold you accountable for. But I wouldn't want the accountability because I'm looking at myself as Mase when no, you're a public figure. And as a public figure, you have to be publicly responsible. So that's why I'm even making this tape.
No, that's
Just
a great
say I
take.
did learn
And
that.
I understand it because that's something that even I, am learning every single day. I'm like, how you present yourself, what you do, what you stand for. If you're committed to something, you have to show your commitment. You can't just be out here, especially when social media is a thing and people are going to find you. Like, even in this situation, like, not to be like, bow. Because it's like, enjoy your life. But it's like, if y'all just had a blowout loss versus the Texans Monday Night Football, y'all go out to a music video, y'all don't have nobody sign nothing that they can't take no videos. That would have been the first step. I've been like, okay, I know I shouldn't be out here. Y'all at least can't record me. We ain't doing that. So Mates totally understand what you're saying. Love when you drop these gems because he always says something very valuable every episode. Maurice, I know you had a question or a take. If you want to share that.
Yeah. No, it's so one, as a disclaimer, everybody's know I've done plenty of dumb shit, right? But as time goes on, you have people like me, people like Mase, you have mass speakers that come and talk to these players, and what they're trying to do is share wisdom so the younger generations don't do the same stupid shit, and then you end up losing the opportunity that somebody else before you lost because they did something that they weren't supposed to do, right? And so I know these guys. If you've been paid all this money, if you've been, you've been known as a franchise's the face of a franchise, you've gotten all of these warnings. You've had all the people around you to try to steer you into the right direction, and then when you go down and you do stupid shit, you're basically just saying like, "Fuck all y'all, I'm gonna do what I want to." But that reflects the mentality of where you're at. And if you have that mentality off the field, that same behavior translates on the field. And when you're paid by institution, whether you're paid by the Dallas Cowboys, the Arizona Cardinals, the Cleveland Browns, or whatever, there's expectations for you to be a professional. And part of being a professional is your duties on the field. And then how do you carry yourself in the community and how it reflects the brand that you have. And so to Mace's point, people get mad when they want the money of basically being these top tier professionals, but they don't want to carry all of the responsibility that comes with it. And these soft moments of being out in the public and being seen a certain way, even though when you don't want to, all this stuff contributes and goes into being a professional.
Yeah, and if you want to be regular, be regular. That's really what I learned. It's like, man, I just want to live my life. Well, you been left your life when you decided to be this level of person. There's certain things you have to do, and you have to have that fun a different way and off the camera. And if you choose to do something on camera, start with the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Start with the disclaimer. Hey, I know I season this tank, because that whole video would go over differently if he starts like this. Hey, I was season this tank. We're probably not going to make it. So don't take this video as a problem, because I do understand as a star in the National Football League, I should be doing XYZ. I've done my workout, so we're just having fun after my workout. Even that disclaimer goes along with your brand. Yeah. Because your brand stability plays into how much money you continue to make.
Yeah. Great point. Holding yourself accountable, but also having that discipline to be able to know what you should and shouldn't do. Again, y'all, I give my takes, but I'm learning stuff every single day. So it's like I see that side, but then I also see this side and hear new information, which makes you think differently. So love having these conversations. Good little discussion. So now we're going to move on to the NBA. They're trying a new all-star game format that'll be a pickup style format. This will feature 3 all-star teams, each with 8 players on the roster and a 4th team, the winner of the Rising Stars Challenge. The event is expected to mimic a fast-paced competition that resembles pickup games where the winner moves on in single elimination play. I think we've talked a lot about just new formats being brought to the table.
Oh my
Maurice, gonna let you go first. What do you think of this new pickup style
is
format?
Horrible.
Hey, no, this is a traditional. Come on, my nigga.
Yeah.
Listen to me, Adam Silver. Yeah, look, all he has to do. I don't know if it was Cam or Mase who said it, and maybe both of y'all said it. But when he said you need to take the international players versus the American players. And I think that would make a great competitive game because it will be Olympic-like, but just in a normal NBA format. And I think it will be very competitive. But this is what we were talking about the other day, Stat, about tradition and losing tradition. This is some bullshit. You know, when I read about it, I didn't want to see it. I don't want to watch it. I don't know. I don't care for it.
Yeah, and I think people don't realize how important tradition is. You know, just like when you just made that statement, to some people, they're like, yeah, just whatever. It's like when you lose tradition, you lose the very fortitude, you lose the very structure of the thing that was built. So it would be like taking the steel out of this building. If you take the steel out of this building, everybody in it is in trouble. You want to add on to what was presented, but you don't never want to take away the basics and the structure of what made it the NBA that we love. The NBA that we love was always the best players playing against the best. Well, so now if the best players are in another country and now they're part of the NBA, then to Cam's point, the internationals playing those of the United States will be the next add-on to that structure and that tradition. It still will keep the basics of the NBA, which is the best playing the best. Right now, this wouldn't be that, because if you start adding on other players, I know you're thinking, well, it's still 24 players, but the way you're putting it out there is just watering down the NBA, and it's already watered down.
And that's that. Okay, let's move on to LeBron. LeBron announced that he's taking a break from social media over negative takes. Kevin Durant's manager, Rich Kleiman, shout out Rich Kleiman, posted, "We can all acknowledge that sports is the last part of society that universally brings people together, so why can't the coverage do the same? It's only clickbait when you say it. When the platform is so big, you can make the change and allow us all an escape from real life negativity. I, for one, find it all a waste of breath." LeBron co-signed that tweet and then said, "And when that said, I'll holla at y'all, getting off social media for the time being. Y'all take care." Maurice, do you feel like there is just so much extra online hate right now, especially in the sports media world? And then how do you feel about LeBron basically announcing his exit?
Ooh, I thought my mind went somewhere else when I read that from LeBron. And I was thinking that LeBron, for the vast majority of his career, had to deal with criticism from him, right? And he was able to go out here. He can perform better. He can go shoot jump shots. He can go dunk. He can go perform during whatever he needed. He could go practice and perform better because he had all the control over it. But I started to wonder when I seen this, I said, I wonder, is he wanting to get away from social media because all the criticism from his son? And I wonder, was that a new level of criticism that he just wasn't ready to deal with? Or, you know, when I see stuff online, they'll say, hey, man, LeBron advised him wrong. LeBron is protecting him. His son isn't as good as he made him out to be. And I just wondered to myself, with somebody who reads all the headlines and somebody who's so involved with social media, I wonder, did he use this gateway to just step away from it, to not want to deal with that? And I could be wrong, but that was something that went through my mind, just being that, you know, the things with Bronny hadn't panned out the way that he intended them to be. And that's just where my mind went, you know. So I forgot the first part of your question, but to the LeBron part of this and talking about he wanted to step away from social media, I wonder, was it him sort of getting tired of hearing everything from Bronny in comparison to being able to shoulder the criticism that he get for himself or had got for himself in the past?
Yeah, when I heard this, I thought several things. being a person that I've heard LeBron speak on a lot of different issues. So he's not shy of words. He's not shy of courage. Excellent basketball player. One of the greatest to ever play. Some say the greatest. So we don't take any of that away from him. I think this is again a situation that he put himself in when he decided to make the moves that they made to bring Bronny into the NBA after certain things. And I want to be respectful to that family. I think this is just the place that he put himself in by making those decisions and pulling the strings for this to happen. People say you don't know that he pulled those strings. Whoever pulled them strings, put him in a place where he have to answer these questions. And I think to make these kind of moves and then not really want to deal with the repercussions of it, it just comes out not a way that I would like to see him at this point. I think at this time, this is a time where we need to hear LeBron's voice even the more. We didn't get to hear his voice during the election as much as I thought we should have, because previously he's been speaking on all these issues. And then there's another issue that people are asking him to speak on. I'm not going to say it on here, but they want to hear his voice on that too. When you are a public figure, you are responsible to speak up on these issues. Just like somebody came to me the other day like, Mase, we didn't hear you say nothing about what's going on with Diddy. I said, I've already spoken for years about the situation. I'm not responsible to every time you think I should speak. So I understand that side of it as well. But I think those are certain issues we would love to hear his voice on. You know, we would love to hear his voice on the Trump situation. We would love to hear his voice on Bronny, and we would love to hear his voice on Diddy.
Yeah. Great points. And then just to even add to that, so one of the reasons why this also kind of came up was basically when the Lakers played Utah, Dalton Connect, I think he had 37 points, breakout game for him. People kind of felt like LeBron wouldn't speak up for the younger players. So in response, he basically was like, everybody on the internet calls me a liar all the time. They say I lie about everything. So what am I now? I've been said it. I watched him. I watched Tennessee a lot. Basically acknowledging that he has seen Connect play before. But I think because of that game, people were like, well, LeBron, why didn't you say Connect has been this good? Like, why doesn't he get more minutes? Like stuff like that. Even though ultimately the decision isn't, I mean, it's not up to him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I'm not the person to say he should speak about everything. I'm only making that statement because I remember one time when somebody said to him that he should shut up and dribble the ball.
Yeah.
Who was that stated that?
Let me find that specific.
It was a reporter.
Yeah, it was a reporter, but I don't know who.
And he was saying he's more than a basketball player. So this is one of those things that once you put it out there, you have to stand on that, you know?
Yeah, it was Laura Ingraham. When he was talking about politics, she was basically like, please shut up and dribble.
Yeah, so because he made that statement, in the future, now people are expecting him to say something like that. And I just think that we're in a time where we're as leaders, and I truly respect LeBron. I truly respect everything he's done for the game. I think we're just at a time where we need a lot more media training. Not that he needs media training, but as a collective, as black athletes, as black entertainers, we need a lot more media training because we're saying things and putting ourselves in positions to have to talk about things we don't want to talk about. Right. And when there's a much higher road we could take, and we don't have to be so vocal about everything if we're not going to be vocal about things. So for years, I said nothing about many things because I wasn't in that light and I didn't want to continue to speak that. But now that I've taken on this and I'm here on this platform, anytime I go somewhere, people are going to want me to speak. Yeah. They feel like you spoke about this, and I understand that comes with this. So before doing this, I would sit down with people and say, hey, is this something I really want to do? Because I understand that if I start speaking here, somebody may ask me to speak about something over here. And not that I have to speak about it, but they're not wrong to ask me to speak about it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Why do you think that like media training thing has kind of changed? Because like obviously you growing up versus, people and especially young people now in the media, where do you feel like that disconnect comes from? Because
so many people succeed at being ignorant that people think they don't have to be smart. Because you watch some of our greatest celebrities are not that intelligent.
Yeah.
So then when you see people make so much money being ratchet or being silly or being buffoons or being clowns or whatever name you want to put on it, or this woman not carrying herself a certain way, then you tend to think, I don't have to have class to get to a certain place. But what they're missing is that what you did to get there, it's going to take something different to stay there. Like, yeah, you could make a stupid song and get there, but if you're going to stay there, then you're going to have these things that I'm talking about. So that's the difference. The difference is the longevity. You don't get to being a LeBron without having those other parts. You don't get to being a Michael Jordan without those other parts. Now, can you have a breakout 5 games in a row and be a Jeremy Lin?
Right.
Yes, but if you're going to continue, if you want continued success, then there's going to be things you have to have in your makeup. Is that correct, Mo?
Oh no, that's it. That's an awesome way of saying it. I would also add that to get into any form of media, and I'm speaking to you, Stat, on this before, or for us to have had the platform to speak, you would have had to get on a news station. You would have had to do something notable to get on a news station for somebody to recognize you. But now with social media, to Mace's point, you can
you
just
just
silly,
do a
stupid,
stupid
ignorant
dance. You just do a stupid dance and get caught on camera, and now you're famous.
Even Hawk Tua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even your illness can make you a celebrity today.
Wow.
But it won't keep you in front of that light. It's just the other things that I'm speaking of that keep you in that place. So if I had one great game, people like, oh, this guy's nice. But in order to be Hall of Fame, you got to do it night after night. And that takes discipline. That takes consistency and all of those things. And in order to have that, your brain got to be straight.
Yeah. I love when you further explain these things because it also kind of makes people understand even like your reasoning for Titletown when you said you respect Jason Tatum. And I love that you cleared that up. You respect Jason Tatum and who he is as a player, but to have that legacy and be that great player, you got to win more than one. And that was your logic. And you think the way you think because of the things that you've been through, the life that you've lived, the things that you know, your experiences, and that's completely valid to share that and feel that way.
Yeah, it's like a girl that looks bad one night. And then every other night that week you see her, she looks horrible. She don't get to be a baddie because she was hot one night. It got to be a consistency. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And it's the same way if a guy picks you up in a Lamborghini on Saturday, and then Sunday he's in the church van, then Monday he's in the Uber, then Tuesday he's on a scooter. It's like, what is really going on here? I know I'm not bugging, right?
No, you're not. For people to understand, your explanations help a lot.
All right, yeah, because sometimes I just go out with what I know, but I know people don't. Everybody doesn't know what I'm thinking or what I know, and that is a flaw of mine that I'm working on. Sometimes I just go with it because I know what I'm talking about, but I have to make sure the people around me knows what I'm talking about.
Right. No, love the explanations. I learn something new every single day. For me, it flipped a switch because my journalism bag. I'm like, ooh, I have another question. But we can chat another day about that stuff because you have a lot of gems that you share, and I think a lot of people want to know them whenever you're ready to speak about.
That makes a lot of sense. And for those that are listening, don't be offended by it. That's something me and Cam was talking about. And when he kept saying, so you don't mess with them, I was like, no. And that's kind of that mindset of people. They think when you hear something that's opposite of what they're doing that you don't mess with them. Mm-hmm. No, it's just I see it differently. You can see it differently than me. And somebody said, well, then how do we know who's right? The end result always tells you who's right. You might not agree with me. I may not agree with you. But time is always going to tell us who was right.
Yeah. Great take. And then before we move on to this next part, just a second part of what LeBron basically was saying. Do you feel like in the sports media space, there is a lot of extra hate, or do you feel like people are a little sensitive? How do you feel about that?
I think there's some of both going on. I think there's a lot of jealousy going on. I really believe that. And that's something that when I speak, I'm trying to make sure I speak more so I don't get classified as a part of the jealous group. Because I think there is a lot of people who are commentating, who are giving takes that are miserable with their lives. They're not good looking. All of that plays into how you talk about other people. I saw people laugh when I said the part about not good looking, but there's a lot of not good looking commentators that hate on other people because they don't have the cachet where it comes to the sport, or they have the cachet that come to a background. So now they're like lame people that never really had anything, and now they're using their platform against other successful people.
Yeah.
And I even, I'm new to this as a journalist, and I'm working on this personally because I don't want to come across as a person that's hating on young niggas or hating on people who is their turn. Because I remember when I first started, all the older niggas was hating on me.
Yeah.
Here I am 19 selling millions of records, and I got all these niggas I looked up to constantly hating on me. Like I was one of the first pretty boys of rap, or had swag and people didn't know what it was called. It was called swag before niggas knew what swag was.
Yeah.
And being around people like, oh, that ain't rap. Oh, that ain't this. So I understand all of that. And I definitely don't want to be in that space, even when I hear people say, oh, them niggas are clowns. No, me and Killer is just enjoying ourselves because we haven't spoke for 20 years. We've been arch nemesis for 20 years, like shooting at each other, all that kind of stuff. So to actually be there with my brother from 7 years old, 8 years old, everything is even more funnier. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really enjoying myself. I feel like with Cam as my little bro, like I'm unstoppable. So if I sometimes go too far, that's what it's because of, not because of a lack of clarity or a lack of understanding of who I am. Is just really enjoying that friendship.
Yeah. And I feel like if people don't understand you, they don't understand you. But as long as y'all know, and y'all know, like y'all good. Like, so yeah, super dope position to be in for me. And Maurice, do you have any insight? Just basically, do you feel like there's a lot of added online hate?
Oh yeah, let me finish. So is the jealousy point, Mo, and then there's the other part of it is that people are negative, but they're negative because they don't like their own life. And I think the people who are being hated on, even to LeBron and the James family, because I love my life, when I saw Savannah James, I was able to see, oh, I'm going too far with this take. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm happy with myself, I could see I may be enforcing some unhappiness on somebody else, and I can make the change because I'm happy. But if I'm not happy, then people are like, not me, but the person who's not happy, they're like, well, I'm unhappy, so I don't have a problem with them being unhappy.
Right. They be miserable. Okay, and then Maurice, do you have a take before we close the show?
No, it's part of the game. LeBron is a smart guy, and he should know that as more people buy microphones and make their own podcast, and they have outlets for Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook and all these things, he's not going to hear just positive content. And LeBron has been on a run for the past 20 to 25 years. And so to think that everybody's going to love him, like him, and enjoy what he's doing or what he has to say, it's almost foolish in some regard. But he's going to have it. But it comes with the space. It's why he makes the money he makes. It's why he's had the success that he's had. But when you have a bunch of success, you're going to have a bunch of resistance with it. I always say the same thing: your blessings and your distractions, they're always proportionate in value. And so LeBron gets hate that others don't get, but he also gets the rewards and the spoils of the victor. Yes, that others don't get. So it's just part of the game.
Yeah, and another thing I wanted to touch on, pause. I know we talked about the jealousy. We talked about, what else did we talk about? where I was speaking about when you're happy with yourself. But another part of it is that some of these people that make it to these levels, even myself, I had to learn to toughen my skin. Like even being around Cam, he's like we're the same, but then we're opposite in a lot of ways. But being around him reminds me that I got to keep my skin tough, you know, because he's going to say exactly what he's thinking. And me being in the South and being around Christian people and all of that, a lot of those views I didn't have to deal with for 20 years. So coming back in this environment is like cold water in the face, you know. It's like, yeah, did he just say that? That's why sometimes I'm like this. It's not that I don't remember where I was. It's just I've been removed from that. So to him say that, like he said, love is in the background. I'm like, did he just do that, or the girl twerking on the stage? It's not that I don't know what he's doing. It's just, you know, being removed from that. And I think, you know, there has to be a place where we can start developing the athlete's mind. Like we're developing their talent. But the mind has to be developed. So I think that's the reason why I'm still here and still in my right mind. So many crazy things have happened. But when you've been trained to be in a certain mindset, you saw my high school coaches. So, you know, I'm trained for everything.
They're dope.
If the coach becomes a crackhead, if he dates one of the players' moms, anything happen, I'm ready for it. And I think that's what we got to start preparing these guys for, because they're making generational money, but they have neighborhood mindsets.
That's a really great point. And there's really no preparation for it. I mean, I can't compare to how an athlete feels, but just even being in a space that I've never been in before, you learn
just
something
like
new
you
every
being
day.
Around us, you're gonna be prepared for more mentally because you've been trained. You walk with people to do so. Sometimes these are first generational rich. First generational rich is totally different than second generation.
Especially when everybody around them is first generation too. Because even just being around you and Cam, you guys hold me to a higher standard. Like I think differently. Like I process things differently that I probably never would have looked at differently before. So it's like a learning curve, and being around people who can teach you, show you. But if you're not around and not willing to listen, you're never going to catch those gems that you need to know to be successful and really be legendary later on in life. So, hey. Hopefully they learn one day. With that being said, that is all the time we have for today. This was an amazing conversation. Maurice, thanks for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. You know what it is.
Again, hey, I will say this. Thanks again, but that was the last 10, 15 minutes. Legendary sound bites from there. Stat, I have as much fun being on this show as you do. Thank you again, Brother Mason. And thank you, Cam, over there in TV land, wherever you at.
Shout out the killer.
Yes, hope y'all leave inspired. But thank y'all all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.